When Rahula, the son of Gautam Buddha, was a child, he was careless about his speech. On one occasion, when someone approached him in the presence of the Buddha and asked, "Is the Buddha here?" Rahula mischievously replied, "He is not here." In a different scenario, when the Buddha was not present and someone asked Rahula, "Is the Buddha here?" he playfully responded, "Yes, the Buddha is here." The wise teacher, the Buddha, noticed this and sent Rahula to a faraway place to learn to control his mind and speak honestly. After some time, the Blessed One visited the place where Rahula was staying, and Rahula felt overjoyed. The Buddha asked Rahula to bring a basin of water and wash his feet. Rahula obeyed and washed the feet of his father. Once the washing was done, the Buddha posed a question. He asked Rahula, "Is the water now fit for drinking?" Rahula replied, "No, my lord, the water is defiled." The Blessed One said, "Now think about your own situation. Despite being my son and a descendant of a king, and even though you have chosen to become a samana, you still can't speak the truth, and this defiles your mind." After pouring away the water, the Buddha asked again, "Is this vessel now fit for holding water to drink?" Rahula answered, "No, my lord, the vessel has also become unclean." The Blessed One said, "Now think about your own situation. Even though you wear the yellow robe of a samana, are you worthy of any noble purpose when you have become impure like this vessel?" Then the Blessed One lifted the empty basin and spun it around, asking Rahula, "Aren't you afraid that it will fall and break?" Rahula replied, "No, my lord, it is a cheap vessel and its loss won't mean much." The Blessed One said, "Now think about your own situation. You are tossed around in the endless cycle of rebirths, and since your body is made of the same material as other things that will eventually turn to dust, it doesn't matter if it breaks. Those who speak untruths are looked down upon by wise people." Rahula felt ashamed, and the Blessed One spoke to him again, saying, "Listen, and I will tell you a story. There was a king who had a powerful elephant capable of defeating 500 ordinary elephants. The elephant was equipped with sharp weapons on his tusks, shoulders, feet, and tail. The elephant master was delighted to see the noble creature so well prepared. Knowing that a wound from an arrow to the trunk would be fatal, the master trained the elephant to keep his trunk well protected. However, during a battle, the elephant extended his trunk to grab a sword. The master was frightened and consulted with the king, and they decided that the elephant was no longer suitable for battle. "O Rahula, if only people would guard their tongues, everything would be fine. Be like the fighting elephant who protects his trunk from the arrow that strikes at the heart. By embracing truth and sincerity, one can avoid wrongdoing. Just as the well-trained and peaceful elephant allows the king to mount on his trunk, similarly, a person who respects righteousness will lead a faithful life." Rahula listened to these words with deep sorrow. He never again gave anyone a reason to complain about him, and from that moment he dedicated his life to righteousness and made earnest efforts to improve himself. The profound lesson of this story is the importance of speaking the truth and guarding our words. In today's world where misinformation and dishonesty are prevalent, this lesson holds great significance. Just as Rahula learned to value truth and mend his ways, we too must strive to be honest in our words and actions. Speaking the truth not only strengthens our character but also builds trust and fosters meaningful relationships. It allows us to live with integrity and contribute positively to society. The story reminds us that our actions have consequences. When we disregard the importance of truth and allow ourselves to be carried away by dishonesty, we tarnish our own minds and character. We become impure vessels, incapable of serving noble purposes. Just as the elephant guarded his vulnerable trunk during battle, we must guard our words against falsehoods, even in the face of temptation or adversity. By doing so, we become strong and resilient, capable of upholding righteousness throughout our lives. The story of Rahula and the lessons it imparts about truth, self-discipline, and righteousness hold timeless wisdom. It encourages us to reflect on our own conduct, to speak the truth with sincerity, and to nurture virtues that will lead to a more just and harmonious world.